this Russian tank crew left the hatch open, which Ukrainian drone operators then exploited. The tank was completely destroyed and left burning on the battlefield. Another tank comes into view for Ukrainian drone operators. Ukrainian drone operators once again identified an abandoned Russian tank. A final strike was carried out. Now a column of Russian tanks was advancing. The first tank to hit a mine forced the entire column to slow down. 2 precision drone strikes then occurred simultaneously, disrupting the formation. But the advance continued. The Russian column divided. 1 tank was struck by a drone, but its armor held. The advancing vehicles continued along the road, approaching the deployment site near the wooded area. The first tank struck a mine. A Russian tank then destroyed a tree with a cannon shot. A kamikaze drone neutralized its target with a precision strike. A second drone then delivered an explosive directly onto the tank's turret. This marked the start of the engagement. A Russian T-80 was fired, but did not detect a Ukrainian drone approaching from the rear. The armor in that area did not withstand the impact. The armor near the front hatch also did not withstand the impact, and the tank was quickly engulfed in flames and completely destroyed. Part of the crew, however, was able to escape into nearby bushes. Ukrainian drone operators then detected a camouflaged Russian vehicle resembling a box. A kamikaze drone subsequently struck the target, triggering a large explosion. The target stood out due to its unusual, box-like structure and improvised camouflage, which differed from standard armored vehicles. The resulting explosion indicated the presence of significant onboard munitions or fuel. Experienced Ukrainian drone pilots are familiar with the most vulnerable points of Russian tanks. After a sharp maneuver, a strike was carried out. The tank did not continue along the open road and instead stopped at the roadside, where it became an exposed target. The initial strike did not ignite a fire, but a follow-up hit was directed at the hatch. A fire then developed inside the vehicle, and within moments, flames engulfed the tank and destroyed it. A reconnaissance UAV coordinated strikes by FPV drones, artillery, and anti-tank guided missiles from adjacent units against an advancing armored column consisting of a tank and 2 BMP-3s near the village of Novomikhailivka in the Donetsk region. Despite a drone strike, the Russian column continued advancing toward Ukrainian positions. A subsequent strike damaged the lead armored vehicle, bringing the column to a halt. After being hit, the vehicle continued moving forward until it crashed at the end of the road, and the vehicles behind it subsequently collided as well. Some of the infantry initially fled the scene, but after a short time, other crew members regained control of the vehicles, and they resumed advancing toward Ukrainian positions. Ukrainian drone operators continued their attacks, inflicting damage on one of the APCs severe enough to force it to retreat, while the remaining 2 vehicles advanced toward the urban area. One of the vehicles was again damaged to the point of being immobile, leaving only the last vehicle advancing. Ukrainian drone operators continued their strikes, leaving the final vehicle exposed in an open field. A subsequent strike completely destroyed the vehicle. Ukrainian drone operators, once again, intercepted the Russian attempt to advance infantry toward their positions. The enemy launched an assault with a mechanized column, consisting of a tank equipped with a mine plow at the front, followed by a BMP-2 and an MTLB carrying assault troops. The column was engaged by fiber-optic FPV drones and artillery. Under heavy artillery and drone strikes, most of the vehicles were damaged almost immediately, and the infantry began withdrawing from the area. The formation became disorganized as the lead vehicles were severely damaged. Soon, all of the armored vehicles and most of the infantry were destroyed, leaving the vehicles burning on the battlefield. Again, near the village of Novomikhailivka in the Donetsk region, 2 Russian T-80 BV tanks equipped with KMT-7 mine trolls detonated in a dense minefield and came to a halt. Ukrainian FPV drone operators then exploited the situation, delivering precision strikes that completely destroyed the armored vehicles. After multiple drone strikes, the ammunition storage in one of the tanks detonated, causing it to burst into flames and completely destroying both vehicles. The battlefield was engulfed in smoke and fire as both tanks were completely destroyed. Their destruction halted the advance, and the area remained under observation, with drones providing real-time intelligence on any further enemy activity. Ukrainian forces identified another Russian column, advancing toward their positions, and responded with artillery. The first strike disabled one of the tanks, forcing the crew to abandon the vehicle and flee across the open field. The second strike was also successful, with the round striking the tank directly and causing it to burst into flames on impact. The fire spread rapidly through the vehicle, and the crew inside was unable to evacuate. At this point, 2 tanks were left on the battlefield, both unable to continue the attack, while some crew members were seen running across the open field after abandoning their vehicles. The footage clearly shows Russian tanks burning after being destroyed by artillery strikes. The Russian forces abandoned the tank, leaving it exposed in the open and without protection. This made it an easy target for artillery, which subsequently struck the vehicle and destroyed it. By the end of the engagement, the Russian forces had lost these tanks, with the vehicles destroyed on the battlefield. Surviving crew members either withdrew from the area or were eliminated. In the village of Yablunivka, Donetsk region, Ukrainian forces repelled a Russian mechanized assault consisting of a tank and 2 infantry fighting vehicles. FPV drones coordinated with artillery and other assets to engage the advancing column. Ukrainian drone operators first targeted the tank, focusing on its most vulnerable points to maximize the impact of their strike. The tank continued advancing despite initial strikes, moving steadily toward Ukrainian positions. Ukrainian drone operators conducted multiple coordinated attacks, targeting the tank's most vulnerable areas to slow its progress. Each strike progressively disabled key components of the vehicle, limiting its mobility and operational effectiveness. After sustained engagement, the tank was finally forced to halt, leaving it exposed on the battlefield. This allowed Ukrainian forces to quickly eliminate the halted tank, after which they reassessed the remaining threats and focused on neutralizing the other vehicles in the column. The repeated drone strikes highlighted the precision and sustained effectiveness of Ukraine's aerial targeting against armored formations. Ukrainian drone operators then targeted the 2 IFs, which pressed forward despite the attacks. Sustained strikes eventually forced the vehicles to halt. With the armored column stopped, the advance toward Ukrainian positions was effectively blocked. The drone operators then ceased their engagement, having neutralized the immediate threat. In this final footage, Ukrainian forces destroyed the tank by striking its open hatch, triggering a massive explosion. Thank you for watching Iron Pulse Media. Subscribe to our channel to see more footage from the world's most critical conflict zones. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you next time on Iron Pulse Media.